What would be known as some of the best years of gaming, the 90s brought video games roaring back into the market. With the popular Sega Genesis released in 1989, Nintendo and Sony had long been at work together to make a disc-based technology that allowed for simultaneous access to compressed audio and video on the disc. While years went by with a working but still incomplete CD-ROM prototype, Nintendo and Sony were set to announce their new partnership and price system at the May 1991 Consumer Electronics Show. On that very morning of the announcement, Nintendo was displeased with the official contract, which would give primary control to Sony, and to everyone's surprise, announced they would partner with Philips. Sony would later go on to make the PlayStation 1. Oh Nintendo, what could have been? With its release in September of 1995, the Sony PlayStation would go on to sell over 102 million units since being discontinued in the winter of 2004. With fantastic games that sequels are still being developed for today, the PlayStation is truly one of the best consoles of all time. I present to you my personal top 10 PlayStation 1 games. And remember, these are games that hold significant value to me in the memories made. However, I would love to know all of y'all's favorite games, so please be sure to comment below. With Sony's successful release of Gran Turismo, Sony took it up a notch with unparalleled realism. From the incredible graphics to the overall physics and handling of the cars, Gran Turismo 2 managed to one-up its predecessor and raise the already high bar. Grandia was Sega Saturn's alternative to Final Fantasy VII. However, that version, which has been known to be somewhat better, was not released to the West. However, the PS1 version released is still extremely good. Grandia was one of the first RPGs to use a fully 3D environment, as opposed to the flat 2D pre-rendered backgrounds at the time. The overall effect was amazing, soundtrack fantastic, and the story was even better, with a more warmer and humorous story. Crash had to be on my list. While this one represents more a respect for the entire series, Warped had better graphics and improved on many things from the other games. It is an epic platformer that is still fun to play to this day. One of the most original series, Tony Hawk's Skateboarding 2 was an extremely addictive game which featured well-defined levels to pull off tricks you are likely never going to do in real life. Along with the usual sequel game improvements you are expected to see, Tony Hawk's Skateboarding 2 added extra moves which left you acting all smug when you hit them with your friends over, and even included a park editor. Move over, Mass Effect. Okay, different generations, however, Xenogears was one of the best sci-fi RPGs ever, with another game going fully 3D for its environments, 2 separate battle systems, and an immersive plot spanning many years. Xenogears is truly an incredible game. How could you possibly follow up Final Fantasy VII? Easily, moving numerically to number 8. Okay, Square had a big task in coming up with a great game to match 7, and boy they did. The plot and overall tone of the game took on a much more mature and darker execution, and I believe they added enough humor to make a fantastic game. The complex and in-depth battle system was impressive, besides taking a while to get used to. Coming in at number 5, Final Fantasy VIII. You knew this game was gonna be on the list, but wait, it's not number 1. Well, this list is more personal to me than an overall masses list. However, this game was simply incredible. The story masterful, characters likable, and battle system very user-friendly. This game was many people's introduction to the world of RPGs, and did a great job at that. I remember seeing the introduction movie to this game and said to myself, how could graphics get any better than this? I was wrong, but for the time, the graphics were pretty great. This game had it all: thrills, scares, puzzles, action, a well thought out story, and was overall a bigger game than the first. What the? Why is Final Fantasy IX ahead of the others, you're asking? I'm a firm believer in that the first Final Fantasy game you play becomes your favorite, and that's exactly what happened here. I remember renting the multiple boxes filled with CDs from Blockbuster, rest its soul, and spent days and nights playing this game. From the lighter, colorful, and less dark game, to the extremely likable characters and immersive story, this is by far my favorite Final Fantasy on the PlayStation 1. Like you thought the masterpiece that is Metal Gear Solid wouldn't be number one. Right from the beginning with its movie-like opening, you knew this game was gonna be a game changer. The gameplay featuring action and sneaking using the environment, to the incredible story made this game epic for its time. There really wasn't another game like this ever before, and Metal Gear Solid cemented its place as one of the greatest games of all time. We absolutely can't forget the honorable mentions, which frankly are close behind the previous games. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share it with your friends, and please be sure to comment below on your personal top 10 PS1 game list.